NCSA recruiting expert Tim Wrightman was invited recently to speak at the FBU Clinic in Las Vegas, Nevada. The former UCLA Bruin and Chicago Bear helped educate the crowd of future college stars about the ins and outs of the recruiting process.
This decision is the first big business decision your student athlete is going to make. And I say it's a business decision because it is going to affect not just the next 4 or 5 years of your lives, but it's going to be the next 40 or 50 years. Once we find out what schools we want to attend, how do we make ourselves more recruitable? Get evaluated so you don't waste your time on schools that you can't really succeed on, okay? And you can't compete at. 2, you want to be proactive and you want to start early. If you want to get an athletic scholarship, the best way to increase your chances is through academics. It's never too late to be a good student. Secondly, character and integrity. Coaches do not want to worry about kids that aren't going to be able to qualify in the classroom, and they don't want to worry about kids that are going to be in trouble and can't play on Saturday. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to become a pro football player. Let me tell you, the odds, 8 out of 10,000 high school kids get drafted. 8 out of 10,000. So that's way less than 1%. Why do we really want to play college athletics? I mean, what's the reason? And it's not to get an education. I tell people it's to get a free education, okay? To get a free education, because it is a job and we're working our butts off and we deserve that. Here's a little bit of harsh reality in the recruiting world. If by September of your junior year, you're not getting 30, 40 letters, you are not being recruited at Division I level. If by April 15th of your junior year, you are not getting phone calls or shortly thereafter from a college coach, you are not being recruited at the Division I level. There's 119 Division I schools. They only have 85 scholarships to give at one time, and they can only give out 25 per year. Okay, so if you do the math, that's less than 1% of all the football players that are going to play football will get a full ride at Division I. So if you are not one of those guys that is getting 30, 40 letters, if you're not that 1%, if you're not the first, second, or third best player at your position in your state, does that mean that you can't play? No, that means that you're focusing on the wrong schools. Okay, now here's the good news. 75% of all the scholarship money that's out there is outside of Division I. So that's Division II, Division III, NAIA, Division I AA. Unlike Division I, these other schools, their recruiting budgets are very low. So they recruit regionally. The coaches probably have an average of about $500 per coach to recruit. So we have to reach out to those schools. You may be the perfect kid for a scholarship in Georgia or in the Northwest or in the Midwest, but we have to reach out to them because they can't find us because of their limited recruiting budget. The pitfalls of doing that yourself, one of the huge pitfalls, is that if it's coming unsolicited, most of the time those letters are going to go into the circular file. They're going to go in the trash can. So what we want to do is we want to find a reliable source that's going to help us out. What do I mean by reliable sources? One would be your head coach. The second would be a service like NCSA. The third would be an alumni. The fourth would be getting on a list like the Lemmings Report. Okay, your high school football coaches, just a little heads up, they cannot get you a college scholarship. His sphere of influence is very small. He may know 10, 15 coaches that he can actually contact, but we want to increase and we want to leverage our possibilities of scholarships by contacting all those schools. But you have to be tenacious, just like you are in the classroom, just like you are in the field. This is what you have to do if you want to get a scholarship.